Ever feel like the world runs on software you wish you could build? Like, what if your brilliant idea didn't require, like, a whole coding boot camp to get out there?
Right.
That's kind of the whole thing we're diving into today, this whole no-code slash low-code revolution.
Oh, yeah.
It's really changing who gets to be a software creator and how fast they can do it. And for this deep dive, we've got reports, articles, even some opinion pieces, really digging into this whole world.
Yeah, it's interesting to see because it's not just hype anymore, you know?
Right.
This is about actually changing who gets access to building these tools. Imagine like you get the problem-solving skills of someone who's deep into business right in the thick of it.
Right.
But then you give them the tools to build their own solutions. It's kind of like digital Legos, but way more powerful.
Right. Okay, I get you. But I gotta admit, the whole build an app as easy as a spreadsheet thing, that's kind of the sales pitch, right?
It is, yeah.
What's the reality check? I'm guessing there's a spectrum, right? Like no code to, well, maybe a little code.
You're totally right. There's nuance here. So true no code is like, think of those drag and drop website builders.
Okay, yeah.
Perfect for a very specific need. Anyone can jump in.
Right.
Low code is like you've got the advanced toolkit.
Yeah.
You can customize a lot if you have a bit of coding knowledge.
Okay, so trade-offs depending on how much you need to get under the hood. But either way, this whole movement, it just seems huge. Like, was there a starting gun moment? Did this just appear?
It's more like a bunch of forces all kind of colliding at once, which I'm sure we'll get into.
Yeah.
But one of the biggest ones, and I know you've got some stats on this, is just the pure need for speed.
Oh, yeah.
Businesses need software solutions like yesterday,
Yeah,
and traditional coding can be slow.
absolutely. We've got articles coming out of our ears about the developer shortage. Costs are going crazy.
Right.
So suddenly saying, hey, what if we empowered the team we already have to just start building? That looks really good in this environment.
Totally. And it's not even just filling a gap. It's a different way of thinking. You know, if the person who actually understands the problem can also build the solution,
Yeah.
you're going to get things that maybe even experienced developers wouldn't even think of.
Okay, I'm with you, but why now? This tech's not brand new, so what's changed? So why now? Why is this low-code slash no-code thing blowing up now? What's changed?
It's really like the perfect storm brewed.
Okay.
The first ingredient, you've got digital transformation,
Right.
which went from this kind of buzzy phrase to like table stakes.
Right.
It's not even, oh, it'd be nice to have software solutions. It's, we need this to actually function.
Yeah, and not just for, like, the huge companies, right? I'm seeing stuff about how even small businesses are feeling this pressure.
Absolutely.
But they don't have those massive budgets.
Exactly. So you've got this massive demand. Everyone needs it.
Right.
But then cue the record scratch. You've got the developer shortage.
Right.
Not only are they really hard to find, but people who can code well, they know their worth.
Yeah. They can basically name their price.
Exactly. And this has been building for a while, but I feel like the pandemic just put it into overdrive with everyone going digital.
Right, like trying to order takeout when everyone suddenly wants delivery at once.
Yeah.
It's like suddenly saying, okay, well, what if we empower the marketing person to just build a customer portal? Doesn't sound as crazy.
And it's not crazy. That's the thing. It's not just about cutting costs. It's about speed and being agile. These platforms let you prototype, test it out, get feedback, make changes so fast.
Right.
Like in the time it would take to get through the first round of meetings with a dev team, someone could have something actually working on one of these platforms.
Okay, but hold on. I gotta push back a little here. This sounds amazing, but what are the downsides? Is it really this simple, or are we, like, losing something to get that speed? What's the trade-off?
Totally valid. You're right. No tech is perfect. There's no magic bullet. I think the biggest thing is customization. With no code, you're kind of stuck with what they give you. Low code gives you some more you can play around.
Yeah.
But eventually you hit a ceiling.
So if it's something super complex, really specific, maybe traditional coding's still the way to go.
Potentially,
Yeah.
yeah. But even then, I'm seeing developers using these platforms themselves.
Really?
Yeah. For things like they need to mock something up really quickly, or there are parts of a bigger project that aren't as complex.
Yeah.
It lets them focus on the really hard stuff and empowers the rest of the team.
Okay, so it's not coders versus no coders. It's more interesting than that.
Yeah.
This is fascinating. Okay, so we've got this perfect storm. Need, cost, speed. It's all pushing this trend. But before we get too far, I kind of want to, like, break down how these platforms actually work, because to me, it still sounds kind of like magic.
I promise you it's not magic. but it is elegant. Most of them really rely on like a couple of core ideas.
Yeah.
First, you've got a visual drag and drop interface.
Okay. So back to how this magic actually works. Last we left off, it was all visual interfaces, which, to be honest, my brain still goes right back to like those early 2000s website builders. Is that what we're talking about? Just fancier?
It's in the same family, but yeah, way more powerful now. So instead of just dragging around like pictures and text boxes,
Right.
imagine pre-built components like here's the code for a user login.
Oh, okay.
Here's a data entry form, all this stuff. You drag it, you drop it, boom, it's functional.
So someone already did all the hard coding, chopped it up, and we're putting it together like a puzzle.
Basically. And they're not even just static pieces either. A lot of these platforms have workflow stuff built in, so it's like automation. Like if this happens in this app, then do that in a different app.
So if someone fills out a form on my site, it could like update a spreadsheet somewhere, send me a notification, that kind of thing.
Exactly. No coding knowledge needed. You're not hiring someone for this massive project. But and this is where it gets really interesting. These platforms, they're not all the same.
Right.
Some are great for, like, you need a really simple customer database, done. Others can handle crazy complex apps that talk to a million systems.
Okay, so like you wouldn't use a hammer to fix your glasses, right?
Exactly. Right. Tool for the job.
Got it. Speaking of which, I'm dying to hear about real-world wins. Like, who's actually using this stuff out there?
Oh, all over the place. So companies are building internal tools, customer-facing apps, you name it.
Yeah.
One area that's really cool is supply chain management. So imagine you can build an app that actually adapts in real time if something goes wrong.
Oh, wow.
You don't have to wait for a whole new development cycle.
Which, in this day and age, like every other week, some supply chain's broken. That's huge.
Exactly. And it's not just about reacting. It's about giving people the power to solve problems proactively. We're seeing HR departments building their own hiring tools, onboarding stuff,
Wow.
finance teams automating their workflows, even governments streamlining services.
So it's not about replacing coders. It's about giving everyone these tools. This is making me excited, but also kind of nervous, honestly. What could go wrong? What if everyone just goes wild?
It's good to be a little cautious. I think the biggest thing is making sure these new tools aren't causing more problems. Right? There's a risk of what some people call shadow IT. Like people are building stuff, but no one knows. There's no oversight.
Right, so not just handing everyone a toolbox and saying, go build on the internet.
Pretty much. IT still matters, especially for the important stuff. It's about finding that balance, empower people, but...
Guardrails.
Exactly.
Governance, I'm with you.
Well, I gotta say, I am walking away from this deep dive with my mind blown a little bit. This is clearly not just a fad.
Nope.
Any last thoughts for our listeners? Something to like really chew on?
I would say if any part of this made you think, wait, what if I could build? Don't ignore that. Right.
What seems impossible today might be a drag and drop solution tomorrow. So go explore, play around. You might be surprised what you can actually create.
I love that. A little citizen developer in all of us. Well, on that note, thanks for diving into the world of no-code/low code with us. We'll catch you next time.
Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button and the bell notification